Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new to my channel, I'm Yathat Kelkar. Before we begin with the video, I would like to thank each and every one of you for viewing this video. And please do not forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel. This not only keeps me motivated to make such content, it also spreads the knowledge of computers to computer nerds like me and you. So, without any further delay, let's begin with today's video. In today's video, we will learn about Python, the basics of Python, how to start up your project in Python. For that, firstly, you'll have to install a IDE. If you don't want to install any fancy apps, you can go to Google Colab, which is free to use, and you can start coding. Google Colab is really effective, but it is generally used for basic codes to start up with Python. Once you get more advanced into it, you can use other IDEs like VS Code or PyCharm or anything else. But for this video, I will be using VS Code. So, what we have to do is that we have to create a new project file. For the people who are using Google Colab, it will be much simpler. You just have to sign in with your Google account and create a new project. For people who are using IDE like VS Code or PyCharm, they will have to create it. I'll just show how to create a ID. Sorry, I'll just show how to create a document. Cut. For those people who are using VS Code, I'll show how to create a Python file. So you press Ctrl B and create a new file by pressing new file over here. If you have any specific folder, you can just go to the folder and click inside it and hit the new file button. That's it. It's as simple as that. Name your new file anything. I'll name it basics.py, but you'll have to name it .py after the name which you give. Like for example, this file's name is basics.py. Maybe you might keep it as python.py, but don't forget to keep the .py. Okay, so I hope you followed me until this point and you have created a Python file. So if you're watching this video, you must be new to Python. So let me explain few things about Python before we begin. Now, Python is one of the most powerful languages and it is used by almost all of the coders worldwide. It is really effective. You can create very basic programs to very advanced programs using it. You can also put GUIs and lot of good stuff. You can even create chatbots, one which I've created over here. This is a really simple version of it. I'll explain it in a different video. But you can create even the most complicated projects to the most basic projects, like the one which we are creating. Learning Python is super easy if you are just dedicated to learning it. And it won't take you a lot of time to learn the basics of Python and actually start programming. But yes, it will take you some time to actually master it, which can take months, maybe even weeks if you are really dedicated towards it. But before you become a master, you'll first have to learn the basics. So let's start with today's video. So in today's video, I will explain you the print function, the input function. I will also explain you the different types of variables and when not to use them. I will also tell you how to create a function and use a function. So let's get started. So yes, as you can observe that there are two methods of printing some certain text or digits. The first way is using the variable, and the second method is just directly printing it. Now the difference is really minor. In just directly printing it, you'll have to use the double quotes, and inside that you have to type your text. But in the variable, you'll just have to type print the parenthesis, and inside that you have to type the variable name. But before that, you'll have to declare the variable. Like you don't, you just have to type in the variable and the value of the variable. Like with here, the value of the variable is 15. It can change for you. And once you're done with this, you can run the code. So if you see, it will be print A and 15, and print hello world will come as hello world. But if you, for a variable, if you do double quotes and the variable name, then the computer will treat it as a string, and A will be printed, not the variable. And the other thing which I have added extra over here is this, the commenting part. This hashtag is used for commenting any line. Now this is really useful if you want to mark where is a certain thing. Like say for example, you want to mark where a function is, you can mark it using this. Or if you want to define what that function does, you can mark it using this. For smaller projects, it's not really required, but for larger projects, you might require it. And for multi-line commenting, just use the slashes at the start of the line and finish it out at the end of the lines. Like for example, if you want to comment out line 1 to line 5, at the start of line 1 you'll have to put double slashes, and at the end of line 5 you'll have to put double slashes. It's that easy. So few of you might not be first time programmers. You might have experience with Java, JavaScript, C++, C sharp, etc., etc. But this is for those people like who used to program with Java, JavaScript, C++, etc., etc. That in those programming languages you had to declare the variable as well, like what kind of data type is it. So for example, in C++ you had to type int a is equal to this string, a is equal to this, and then continue. But in Python you don't have to declare it. You can directly just type the variable like I have done over here. A is equal to 15. But if the same thing was there in some other programming language, like I'll give example of C++ again, it would have been int a is equal to 15 and then the colon. But you don't have to do that over here. You can directly, um, you know, give the value to the variable. Now, there are multiple data types in Python as well. One is the numeric data type. The second one is string. Third one is boolean. Fourth one is decimal, dec basically. And there is one more, but I'm not going to discuss about that in this video because it is not generally used. So that is why, and it won't come in the basics of Python. So for declaring um, a variable, basically a numeric variable, you have to type the variable name, which is later. Then after that, you have to type equal to, and then the value. For a string, it slightly changes. You will also have to put double quotes. Like, let's keep this as it is. I'll just go to another line, and over here I will type B is equal to hello world. This is for string, and under that you'll just have to type print parenthesis parenthesis, sorry, double quotes, and sorry, no double quotes, and you can type the variable name B. Then you run the code. So now this is for a string variable type. Now if I remove the double quotes from here, it will show an error if I run it. Yep, it does not make sense to the computer. Now this is for the string data type. For the numeric data type, you have already seen it, and it is going to be the same for all other data types as well. The Boolean data type, the decimal data type, and the char as well, which I didn't mention. Like I told, it's not in the basics of Python, so that's why it's just going to be the same as it is in the numeric data type. This is only different for string data type. I'll just comment this line. This is the string data type. Simple. Colon if you want. And yes, this is with the data types. This is the data type part. Now, the input part, which is also really major function in Python. Now, again, for few people who came out from C, C++, and all, they will be having the thing of importing IO stream, which is input and output stream. Cut. So now let's move to the input part. So for those people who came from C++, C sharp, etc., you will have the habit of hashtag include IOStream. Now that is not required in Python. You don't have to import anything, or you don't have to include anything in the code. You can directly put the input command, and you will get user input. The other major difference is that you'll also have to print the, say, the text which you by which you want the users to understand what they have to input. But over here, you don't have to create a separate print function for that. You can just put it in the input. So now I'll just show how to do it. I'll just firstly comment this line: input functions. Perfect. Now over here, I'll type the variable name. Let's say C is equal to input the parenthesis double quotes, and inside the double quotes you will have to type the text uh, which you want the users to see and respond accordingly. Type your name, for example. Hit enter, and let's put print parenthesis, and again you don't have to put double quotes, you just have to put C, the variable name. Run this code, and you get this type. We should type a name. I'll type my name Yatsart, and it prints out Yatsart. This is how to do it. This is how we do it basically in Python. Another thing which is important is that you can type as many as words you want in the input function. Like, it can be with multiple spaces, and the computer will print it accordingly, unlike most of the other programming languages where you'll have to use a different kind of function to do it, like a get line and etc. It's really easy to do all this stuff with Python. Like, you don't have to really eat your head up for it. Now this is for the input with the string. This is for string input. Now if we type a number in it, it will just show an error. But what if we want to type a number? For that, we will have to change the code slightly. I'll just write over here string input type. Now over here, I'll just type the numeric data type. Okay, input type. Double quotes and hit enter. Below this, you can type the variable name. D is equal to int. Int is the keyword over here. Input, again the parenthesis, the double quotes, and over here you can say type your age. And over here you can just print D. It's that simple. But like, just to inform you, whenever you deal with getting numbers from the user, you should put int and then continue. But it's not always required. Now, the variable d stores a numeric value, but if you're not going to perform any kind of operations with it, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, then it's okay if you don't use int. You can just do it normally. So yes, if you ever want to perform any operations, then you'll have to of course type int and input then the text. So yes, this is um, all about input type, because if you ever want to input using boolean decimals, then all you'll have to change is the initial. For example, for decimals, you will have to change the initial to dec, and then the input, excuse me, and so on and so forth. That is the thing. I'll quickly just explain the data types in detail, because I only explained the string data type and the integer data type. I didn't explain the others. So for the dec, basically decimal data type, all you have to know is that it is there for the decimals. So it's just like how the name sounds. Unlike integers, where you put whole and natural numbers, in decimals you can put dot, the basically dot, and then the numbers after it. But if you do the same thing with integer, it will just show an error. It cannot process it. But if you use decimal and then you use the whole or national numbers, then it will work, but not vice versa. So it's best to use decimal whenever uh, you're asking for any input from the user, because you might never know what kind of input will the user put. And boolean is slightly similar. It is also very easy to understand. But the only difference is that you will have to put is that you'll have to write the full name of boolean, like boolean, uh, in few IDEs, but VS Code does accept basically bool, right? That is the one thing which you have to keep in mind. But what does boolean practically mean? Boolean is like just storing binary answers, which is one and zero, or true and false. That's the thing that it stores. That's it. Just that much. Nothing fancy. But if you try to put something else into it, then it won't work. Now, the other and the last data type, which is again, like I told, it's not in this covered in this video. It's just char. It is just for character, can only store one alphabet. That's it. So yes, this is it for this video, the part one of this video. There is still part two, in which I will explain functions. Now, functions are again super easy. It's not that hard. You can learn it in few minutes. So please stay tuned for the part two. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time.